Happy Hump Day, everybody. Not only is it Hump Day, it's October 30th, so it's the day before Halloween. And I really thought about this and I was like, maybe I should review The Crow, the original, mind you, the good one, the real one, all right? Brandon Lee, right? Or should I watch a movie I've never seen before that's a huge classic that's just never been my thing? And I was like, you know what? We're watching The Thing. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss this. Oh boy. See you in a minute. Happy Hump Day. Yes, it is Wednesday, middle of the work week, day before Halloween, and oh, so glad to see each and every one of you here. Now, we don't put out a video on Halloween, so today is our Halloween. Frankenstein back there and I thought we would do a perfect Halloween video. Now, in the description box down below are links to the stuff we use that we appreciate, that we enjoy, and we think you might as well. We've got some promo codes down there for you to save you some of your money. Check it out. How's everybody doing? Good, I hope. A little, for those new here, I don't really enjoy horror movies of a certain type. Like, when I was a child, I saw Jaws, and that scared the living heck out of me as a child, to the point that I will not get into a body of water that I cannot see the bottom uh, clearly. Even a swimming pool. That better not be murky, because I'm not getting eaten by that shark, right? And I've never had an affinity for graphic movies or movies that are more realistic in nature. Like, I love the Final Destination movies; those are hilarious. Um, I've seen the Nightmare on Elm Street stuff. Yeah, I've seen all that, but then when you get to things like The Strangers or things like Alpha Dog with Justin Timberlake, the realisticness of the death in that movie just turns my stomach. So when something's extremely graphic and more realistic, I just don't really find that entertaining. Is that fair? Fair? Okay. I love horror comedy like Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I love that movie. Cabin in the Woods was great. But over the years, I've heard nonstop about John Carpenter's The Thing from 1982, and I'd never watched it because all I ever heard was how gross it was, how graphic. But being someone that loves special features, likes the way movies are made, I've seen many documentaries on how movies are made and special effects are done and the different forms over the years since cinema has matured and gotten more technologically advanced. And I was fully aware that the gore and stuff from The Thing was all physical effects, practical effects, like they didn't have computers to do it for them, right? So they used other special effects to make the gore and the monsters and the alien, etc. So here we are. I blind bought the 4K version of The Thing, and last night, after the kids went to bed, popped it in the player. Let's talk about it. The Thing, 1982, rated R, hour and 49 minutes. A research team in Antarctica is hunted by a shape-shifting alien that assumes the appearance of its victims. Directed by John Carpenter, written by Bill Lancaster, John W. Campbell Jr., starring Kurt Russell, Wilford Brimley, Keith David. There's a huge amount of stars in this. I mean, it's on point. High rating, as you can see, 8.2 out of 10. All right, first thing I'm going to say about this 4K. Now, I had watched the trailer on streaming, right, in preparation, and it looked like dog poo, right? It was not good quality. It looked like it was a VCR version of the trailer, so I was a little concerned. All right. And since I've never seen this, I've never watched the VHS, never watched the DVD, the Blu-ray. Like I only have the 4K to go by. So when I popped this in and it started playing, I was in awe of how beautiful it looked. And not just beautiful, but how nice it looked. Like if you didn't know it was an older movie, there are scenes in this and moments in this when you would think it was a brand new movie, like just recently made. It just, and I don't know. Look, I have no comparison for that. I don't know if that's like the way it's always looked or if that's just the 4K that has, upgraded the way it looks. I don't know if it's better or worse. Let's be honest, it's going to be better than say the VHS or the DVD. But I don't know how the 4K connoisseurs out there feel about how it looks. Do they do it justice? Or does it look a lot better? You tell me in the comments because I don't know. But I thought it looked fantastic. And again, since I've watched many documentaries and things like that about movie making and special effects in particular, I've leaned heavily towards stunt work and special effects. I love those documentaries. They're so fun to watch and so much information. Unfortunately, I had seen just about every creature from this movie already. So there was a few surprises in the alien bits, the gory stuff, but it wasn't 100% surprises because this movie is considered classic in the special features realm, right? A story about a group of scientists in Antarctica or a research team or whatever, a group of people, 12 men. There's no women in this. It's all men. And that's just the way they did it. All right? Don't be all crying about that. 12 men in the middle of nowhere, 40 below, and somebody picking them off that looks like them. Like, looks like one of the people they've been there with the whole time. You can't tell the difference. Was spectacular. That ideal. Now, I've seen the original thing from like the 30s, right? Which is nothing like this. I mean, not even the story is the same, but it was a fun watch. I think it was the 30s, either the 30s or the 50s. I don't remember, but my brain's mush, my friends. Um, but this ideal of these, you can't escape this, and you can't let it freeze and be found later. Like, once the realization comes that nobody will probably be walking away from this because you have to do the right thing. You have to save humanity, right? That whole ideal of the morality tale and deciding to do the right thing, even at the cost of yourself, fantastic. Like they did a great job of that. My only issue was the end. All right, because there's a question left unanswered at the end for the people left at the end. So, I mean, the assumption is the alien's taken care of, everything's going to be fine. But are you sure? Are you sure? Fantastic. Kurt Russell did a great job as the main dude, and his character was on point. Like he wasn't necessarily a hero, and he just knew that there was something that had to be done. That was pretty good too. I really enjoyed his character. The rest of them, this movie is great, exactly like it is. But it would have been fun to see a little bit more of the character building, like a little longer of a movie, where you get in the beginning, you get to know these characters a little better. But this movie pops off right from the beginning, right? Like this struggle starts. There's very little build up to when things just start getting weird. So there's no fat on this. It's pretty much all meat and well worth watching. I would say even this has some rewatchability to it. Like the grotesque stuff, it's not I've seen worse, but it's fantastically done. The matte paintings, the practical effects, the way they did each and every special, like the special effects are really nice to look at. And now there's like over 2 hours of special features about how they made this movie and outtakes and whatnot. I only got about 30 minutes into it and I was like, I gotta go to bed. I'm tired. But it was really good. So I'm definitely going to finish off the special features and I'm going to listen to the commentary more than likely. I, I will. I will listen to the commentary. I don't know when, but I would watch this movie again, not on Halloween, just because it was a good story. It was interesting. Sorry about that. Had to cough. Um, Overall, I can't say anything bad about it. No chesticles to run into. This is all dudes, 12 dudes trapped in this area. Um, it was interesting to see Wilford Brimley so young, yet still so old, if that makes sense. Like, everybody knows him as the diabetes fella in the commercials, and he's really old. He's always looked the same. In this movie, he looked the same, but just like a year younger. It was that was pretty interesting if you know what I'm talking about. Wilford Brimley, great. I gotta tell you, there's some language, there's lots of gore and a lot of violence, but nothing too terrible. And I say it was pretty well worth watching. If gore's not your thing, this is not the movie for you. Um, and again, early 80s, the language is pretty rough, but it just depends on your moral conundrum. This is not a G rated movie. This is rated R for a reason. But if you like a good story and you like to be on the edge of your seat and scared just a little bit, a couple of jump scares, and for a reason too, like the jump scares were necessary for what you're watching. They weren't just jump scares for no reason. Like it was solid. All right, I gotta go. I've gone long today. My apologies, but this is our Halloween special and well worth watching. If you get a chance to watch this, I would say pull the trigger, my friends. Have a great Halloween. Stay safe. Keep your eye on your children. Make sure that candy is okay to eat and have a good time. Dress up cool for me, my friends. All right, I'm going to get out of here. We'll be back on Friday. Don't know what we're talking about yet. I have a couple of choices. I'm trying to decide. All right, from Michael the Microphone, Bob, Squeaky Chair in the back, and Frankenstein as well, and this big fat nerd, we will see you next time.